Welcome to the Random Encounters Show. I'm Deathstalker V. In this episode, I'm going to be giving you my personal oracle for solo tabletop RPG gaming. Now, most of you are probably aware of what an oracle is. There's been quite a few available on the market over the last few years. I developed this back in the 90s before any of the commercial oracles really came out, and it requires no books, it requires no charts. All you need is a little bit of common sense and 2d10 dice. Now, if you're not using an oracle like this, I promise you that it will not only speed your game up dramatically, but it will actually help unlock the full potential of your game because this oracle is not bound to any genre. It works for all role playing game systems and it's just a lot of fun to use. So, before we go down to the table, though, I wanted to thank all of our new subscribers who've just come in and taken part of the show. All of you guys who have been liking and sharing and commenting and joining the Facebook group and stuff, welcome to the community. I'm so glad to have you. Anyways, let's go over to the table and check out this oracle that I'm talking about and show you how you can use it in your own gaming. This episode was sponsored by City of the Gods with full-length novels, comics, gaming material, more. cityofthegods.com is your ticket to this awesome fantasy universe. All right, as you can see, we have the question table set up for a little bit of gaming here. And I thought it'd be a perfect time to get in and talk about and show off one of the main tools in my arsenal I use for solo gaming, which is an oracle I developed in the 90s before we had commercially available oracles such as Mythic and Scarlet Heroes and all the other myriad books that have oracles in them nowadays. No, we didn't have any such thing on the market that I'm aware of back then. So I imagine a lot of people did exactly as I did. We created our own tools for solo play. Now, the thing about the commercially available oracles like Mythic Game Master Emulator and such is they're set up and they're on tables and charts inside of the books. They can be wonderful tools when used appropriately. But for main use oracles, to me, they are a little bit slow. They tend to drag the gameplay or the pace of the game down a little bit. Not big issue, but I do like a faster paced game. Another thing is that they are a bit static with their charts and programmed entries into those charts. So if you're looking for something that'll speed up your game and make things a little more fluid, my Common Sense Oracle I think will help you out a lot. The Common Sense Oracle is dead simple. Okay? What we do at any given point when we're looking at the game and we need something, we can normally look toward the oracle. Now, most people treat the oracle as something that can answer yes and no type questions in lieu of a game master using dice. And that is true. But I'm always pushing for people to get more out of their solo gaming, so get more out of your oracle. I do use the oracle to answer questions, but I also use it to generate information, especially new information. I also use it to confirm old information. But I love to use it mostly to push the game forward. Okay? When we're looking at our oracle, we're looking at probability here. To use this oracle, you need to take in consideration everything that's going on in your environment with your characters, the circumstances and events, and you come up with a baseline probability for whatever you're wanting to ask the oracle. Okay? Very common sense stuff to me. With our oracle, we're using D100, so 100% to 0%, or 1% to 100% chance, if I can speak English, of something happening, and you assign within those ranges between 1 and 100 the probability. Now on this oracle, 50 is your baseline of your oracle. It's dead center. That's 50 represents the unknown with this oracle. That's just the baseline. We can ask if something does happen or does not happen. It has equal opportunity to go both ways at this point. So completely unknown. Using the oracle, you can leave it at a baseline for what you don't know, but for what you do know, you can modify the oracle a bit by using a different percentage. Let's take an example with weather. Okay, if let's say our character here, he's staying in an inn overnight and it's morning time. Now he has some stuff planned for the day and it's summertime here, and he wants to know, does it look like it's going to rain, or if it's raining already? Okay, now how do we determine something like that? First off, I would tell you that I am more used to highly detailed role-playing game rule systems and the modules that go along with them. Most all of those, especially for their worlds and for their environments and stuff, they have seasonal weather patterns outlined with percentages in the books of the chance of precipitation and different things. So that's easy to look at. If you don't have something like that in your system for weather, look to your real world examples. Okay, that's one place to always look toward, is the real world examples. It helps bring realism in your game if that's something that you want to achieve. But let's say it's summertime and we want to know if it's raining outside, or it looks like it's going to rain, whatever. We'll just say, is it raining? So we'll say 40% chance that it is raining. And all we do is simply roll our D100 and we get a 23. That tells us that it is currently raining. Okay, just that dead simple. Now, that might seem too simple to a lot of people, and they'll want some more information from that. Okay, it's easy to obtain more information. Just put your thinking cap on. With rolling percentages, there's weak rolls and there's strong rolls. There's weak yeses and strong yeses. There's weak no's and strong no's. When you're playing your game, pay attention to your rolls. Let's say we had a chance for 40% of rain and we rolled a 39, for example, or a 40. That would be a very weak yes. It's just on the cusp. It's on the fulcrum of going the other way, as in it's not raining. How would I interpret this to give me more information? Well, we know that it is raining, but because it's weak, we're going to say it's a weak rain. We can say that the first few drops are starting to fall from the sky, and we can see the clouds starting to build. It hasn't started really fully raining, but there are drops falling down. Okay, what if we rolled up something like a 10, for example? That's a pretty strong yes. We could say that it is a pouring rain. It's getting down outside with a thunderstorm. What if we rolled an extremely strong yes with rolling a 1? Okay, that would give me something abnormal. I would say not only is it pouring rain out of buckets, okay, but the storm is so bad, in fact, that nobody in their right mind would want to get out and travel in this, that unless you were on fire and needed to be put out, that would be one of the only reasons anybody would venture out into this storm. And it works just the opposite as well with weak and strong no's. Okay, so that's another way of interpreting this data. Let's do a few more examples here. Let's say our character's out on the street and he's looking at this home here. He's a thief or a burglar or something, and he wants to get inside that home. Maybe it belongs to the merchant that has a shop next door. He's out on the street casing the joint. It's 7 p.m. The merchant that lives in the home, he watched leave and go to the inn in the background, down the street a ways. And he knows he's in there meeting like he does every single night, because our thief's a smart thief. He's been watching patterns of people. He knows he's in there meeting with other merchants. They're discussing business, making deals, having dinner, etc. So he'll be there for a while. So he's casing the joint from the street. Now, as he's casing this joint from the street, I want to know, does anybody else appear on the street or in the general vicinity of our character while he's looking at this house? Okay, I I got ahead of myself. If we're looking, see, that's the problem. Is it's so fast and so easy for me to use. I don't even really think about it. I assigned that there's a 40% chance of anybody being on the street right now. Why? Because it's toward the evening. It's getting dark in our little fantasy village. People should be hurrying around trying to get done the daily stuff, the chores and business and errands and things. And they're probably trying to get home or get to the end or to a restaurant, something where they can start settling down for the night. So let's do that roll again so that you'll know what's going on. He's looking around the street. Okay, 40%, we went well above 40 and we got an 83. So not only does he not see anybody on the street, but he doesn't see anybody around their homes or anything on this street as far as he can tell either. Okay, so what our character does is he's going to make it into the yard of this home. And he's going to be looking in the windows to see if he sees any light coming from inside the home. If you put your mindset into the medieval times, unless you have a really high magic campaign, most light sources are going to be from torches, candles, fires, oil lamps, etc. Under normal circumstances, no one would want to leave those behind burning while they weren't home. Not just from the obvious fire hazard, but it would be prohibitively expensive to do so. Okay, so he wants to look in the windows. Now, when we assign a percentage to this, it's truly unknown because we don't know if there's anybody in the home or not. Okay, so it's truly unknown, so we're going to leave it at the baseline 50% that there is light coming from one of the windows. We rolled a 63. That tells us he does not see any light coming from any windows. Okay, while he's checking these windows here, I'm going to roll a quick spot check, again at 40% of anybody coming down the street. We got a 36. So we will have somebody just sort of meandering down the street. We could actually say, this is your oracle here, so you can use it in different ways. We want to know which end of the street they're coming from. We will say the west end is even, the east end is odd, and just roll a single d10 die. Okay, we got an odd, so they're coming from the east end. Okay. Now that we know somebody's on the street and they could possibly see our character, we don't know if they've seen them or not. We're going to give them a 30% chance of spotting our thief checking the windows of this home. 78. So they're sort of oblivious. We're also going to say, do they stop in the area or they continue down the street? We'll give them a 80% chance just to continue down the street. 94, they do not continue down the street. So now we've got some information to deal with. Now it may be a time to get a chart out to see where they go, or just give a few random rolls to see where they go. They don't notice our thief yet. Okay, maybe we roll a perception check for the thief, and he's able to spot the person coming, and he's going to go into hiding, maybe behind something there. We're not really playing a game here, we're just doing examples. So our character is going to move. Now, is he coming to the merchant's house? We don't know where he's going right now. So we're going to just say 50% to the merchant's house. 9, so he's going to the merchant's house, and it was a very strong 9. Okay, so we can see he's going to the merchant's house. Not only that, but he must have a key to it. He must live there. Maybe he's the merchant's son, whatever. We could determine that further on as we play. But at this point, our thief would see that guy go in And he would probably, if he was smart, abandon ship at this point and try again another day. You know, there's other ways. Okay, let's remove our guy here and let's have our thief. Let's say nobody came down the street. Our thief wanted to check to see if any of the windows were unlocked or if any of the windows were unsecured. With it being a merchant's house, with it being in a village or a town like this, I would say 80% that the windows are going to be secured, that they're not going to be just left wide open. 63. Okay, that's just a pretty good. The windows are secured, and he wants to take a look around. Maybe he gets to the door. Okay, he looks around. No one's around. Nobody's bothering him. He may try the door. Okay, we're going to say 95% chance that this door is locked. We always leave a chance that it's not, though, with solo RPGing. It makes the game more interesting, and I'm sure everyone watched the video has left their home and forgot to lock a door or something. Mistakes happen. We're all human, huh? Let that be represented in your probability and in your percentages with this oracle. But what do we say? 95% that it's locked? I hope we did that, because that's what we're going to use. Okay, yes, it is locked. Now, at this point, maybe our thief wants to take a look at how secure this door is. He wants to take a look at the lock itself. Okay, now if you've got a game system that covers these things, use those tables and stuff out of that game system. But if you don't have anything but on the fly, you can easily take a D10 dice and sort of give a rating. You know that 1 to 3 is a very substandard door, 4 to 6 is a very standard door, and 7 to 10 is a very strong door. Okay, so we've got a very strong door. We can give the same rating. He's going to get down and inspect the lock. Okay, it's also a very strong lock. So that's just, you see all the different ways that these can be used. We can always check the state of something. If you find something and you want to know, like you found a weapon on the battlefield, and what state is it? You know, we can just roll the dice. 100% would be like brand new. A 1 would be rusted and destroyed. If you pick it up, it falls apart. You know, so a 21. So if we found a weapon on the battlefield, it would probably not be a very usable weapon. And like I said, you can use this for merchants and things. How much does the merchant offer to buy our wand of magic missile, for example? You know, now we've got a base cost of this out of the book. How much do they offer with that base cost? And here's where you can add some modifiers. Maybe your character has persuasion. Maybe he has bargaining, whatever. Maybe he uses those skills. Bring that over and add it into your dice. I know all systems aren't going to add directly into this. Just use common sense. You know, maybe we have maybe our thief is selling off some stolen goods, and he knows they should be worth at least 100 gold coins. But when he talks and he bargains and he persuades, we're going to add a plus 30 to our roll here. So it's plus 30% to see what the merchant actually offers. So the merchant would actually offer 105%, 30 plus our 70 plus 5. So he would actually end up getting more for his stuff than he even expected. But like I said, it's just common sense. This oracle, you can use it and it can take you as far as you want to go with it. Combined with other tools such as charts and things, it really can open up the potential for solo gaming. And it's fast and it's fun and it's so dead simple, guys. So yeah, I would love for people to try this. Give me their feedback. Maybe maybe you're like me and you've been using something like this all along. Give me your feedback on it. And I'm sure all of you using this, your mind or your imagination is your only limitation with this oracle, you know, this common sense oracle. I'm sure you're going to find all kinds of uses for it. And I would be so happy if you guys tell me what you've been using, etc. And like I said, dead simple, to the point, and ready to go. Anyways, I'm Deathstalker V. This has been the Random Encounter Show, and I'll see you in the very next episode. Hey, this is Deathstalker V. I wanted to thank you for watching the Random Encounter Show. If you love tabletop gaming, solo RPGing, or classic video games, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. If you want more of the show, head over to our channel's About page. There you will find our Facebook and Facebook group pages where you can join in on the fun. Want to help support the show? Make sure to use our affiliate and sponsor links next time you're shopping for your favorite gaming products. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time when we roll for Random Encounter.